Miss Aldrich. I brought my things here, but you don't want me to put them upstairs?
No, not yet. Not till Mrs. Croft gets home.
But I'm sorry I am so confused. But didn't you tell me she didn't want me to move in?
Well, it's very simple, Mildred. You know that war I told you about?
The one between you and Miss Croft?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's still going on.
You didn't win.
Not yet. But I will soon. That's why I want you to be very nice to Mrs. Croft when she gets back.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, if she comes in and she's very upset, I think it best that we not tell her that you're here to move in. I think we should tell her that you're here to help me pack up to move out.
Where are we gonna live?
No, Mildred, you missed the whole point.
Huh? Oh, I get it. You're not really gonna move out at all.
Quiet.
Sorry, but you're just fooling Miss Croft then, making her think that I'm here to help you pack, when all along you're just bluffing. 'Cause she's afraid that if you move out, she won't get to see that baby.
Mildred, while you're with me, I think that one of your duties will be to keep very quiet and let me do all the talking.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, you want some more tea?
Don't mind if I do.
The objective, of course, is obvious. We want to see you walk again. And your therapy sessions, such as the one you're going to have in a few minutes, are most important, yes?
Sure.
I'm sorry, Mike, if I seem perhaps a little condescending. I realize you're a physician, but I must emphasize that the physical exercises are most important, and your wife can help you, yes?
Oh, yes, of course.
Your wife can act as a second therapist, you see.
Okay.
But, Dr. Von Holt, how will I know what to do?
Well, it's really very simple. The best exercises, you see, are almost always the simplest. So what you do is you allow your husband to instruct you as to how the hospital therapist worked with him during the last visit. Then, if it's not too difficult, you will repeat the exercises together at home. Incidentally, this also helps the patient to overcome any reluctance he might have to admit his various weaknesses. It helps enormously in the new husband-wife relationship, which must develop. Now, did Dr. Mitchell speak with you concerning your sexual life together, etc.?
Yes.
No.
Well, perhaps now would be a good time for a short review, yes?
Look, Dr. Von Holt, I don't think it's quite necessary for my wife and I to have a review. We have an arrangement at home.
Oh?
It doesn't concern sex. And right now, my main concern is to get to my therapist session.
Well, of course, this is something that's quite personal.
I would like to hear what Dr. Von Holt has to say.
It's fine. Now, just remember, whatever you learn is not going to change our relationship.
That's terrific, Mike. Had enough? No. Okay. I'm game as long as you are.
Hey, fella. Looks like you're determined to get down to your fighting weight in no time.
Why not?
Why not, indeed? I love to watch other people work. You mind? Hello, Maggie. Send her love.
Oh, great.
Greta.
Terrific.
And Leanne.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Of course, personally, I don't give a damn about you myself.
All right, easy, Mark. We can blame him for breaking the rhythm.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll get you a towel.
All right.
Well, it didn't mean for you to stop.
That's all right. I think I've done enough for the first day anyway.
Right. Sure good to see you working at it like that, though.
The way I figure it, why not? I mean, I could get worse, but I'm going to get a whole lot better. You know, I I've had a lot of pain the last couple of days in my legs. I guess the nerves have been regenerated, and it's causing me to ache quite a lot. It's pretty constant.
Well, I'm sure it isn't pleasant, but that's an awful good sign.
Yeah, I know.
I just hope you won't feel you need to rely on drugs, especially opiates. I wouldn't want to see you prescribing some codeine.
Hey, take it easy. I'm smart enough to know not to use my own prescriptions for drugs. A couple of aspirins before bed, that's it.
Good boy.
You know, I'm beginning to like the pain in my legs. It makes me feel as though they're really alive.
Sure. Oh, gosh, it's sure good to see you laugh again. I think going home was the best thing for you.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, you have a little boy jump in bed with you in the morning, wake you up. It's mighty nice.
Of course. And there's Sarah.
Yeah, she's been a good companion.
Well, what does that mean, companion?
Well, we're not quite husband and wife. I mean, I'm not half there, remember?
And the nerve fibers involved in sexual function actually originate up here, in the damaged area. You see over here, that's T12 and the upper lumbar sections of the spinal cord, yes?
Yes.
And it depends on the degree of damage that these nerve fibers have suffered and how quickly this damage can be reversed.
Well, is Mike,
I know your question. And I'm very sorry, but I don't know the answer. That's the problem with damage of this kind. There is simply no way of knowing whether Mike is capable of sexual activity or not.
but he could be.
Oh, yes, most definitely. But the only way you're ever going to really know is by experimentation.
Well, I'm sure you noticed that Mike is a little distant with me.
Oh, Mrs. Powers, that could very well be more from fear or anger than out of any true knowledge on his part. Without experimentation, I doubt very much whether your husband really knows whether or not he's impotent.
Oh, I see.
It's a very difficult situation. I don't want to give you a false impression, but I must be frank. Mike could be capable of sexual function today, right now. But the two of you are never going to know until you try. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Tyler.
Actually, Miss Sweeney, I'm glad you called, and I'm very glad you could come.
Oh, listen, as soon as Luke told me...
I noticed he didn't come, though, did he?
Oh, but honey, he does care. It's just... Look, I can't explain it right now.
You don't have to.
Well, I think it's good that Missy will have someone to talk to.
Oh, sure, me too.
You know, Miss Sweeney, I think Missy should have some professional help.
You mean a psychiatrist again?
Well, a psychiatrist or a psychologist.
Hey, maybe somebody at the hospital. Look, I could ask Maggie.
I don't want anybody else to know, Sweeney.
No, a professional counselor never shares his information with anyone else, Missy.
Look, we could find someone. I know we can.
I just want to go home.
Of course. Missy? I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Good. Bye, Missy. Miss Sweeney.
Yes?
In situations like this, people sometimes withdraw, sometimes they run away, and sometimes they are very self-destructive.
Oh?
Missy's feeling a great deal of self-contempt right now.
You mean she might try to do something to hurt herself?
Well, it's a possibility, and I think you should be aware of it. And I just want you to know that if anything happens, I want you to feel free to call me if you're at all upset.
Oh, sure. Oh, I'll keep an eye on her.
Please. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Sturgis.
Oh, Mrs. Sturgis, that isn't Nola's suitcase, is it?
No, that belongs to the young woman Mrs. Aldrich wants to hire.
Oh, she's not moving in.
Yes.
I don't understand.
I think I understand, Mona. Let me handle it. Where are they?
They're in there.
Why, Steve. Hello.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Oh, not at all. Mildred, I went to meet my brother-in-law, Steve Aldrich. Steve, this is Mildred Trumbull, my new maid.
Pleased to meet you, I'm sure.
Yes.
Hi, Miss Croft.
Good
Miss
afternoon.
Trumbull, would you excuse us for just a few moments?
Well, should I wait outside then?
Uh-huh.
Nola, I never gave you permission to hire that girl. Certainly not to bring her into the house.
Nola, do you think your game plan was working already?
What?
You know, I'm getting awfully sick and tired of these games of yours, these little machinations to get your own way. They're getting tiresome, to say the least.
Steve, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh? You threaten to move out unless my mother allows you to hire that young woman. You put pressure on her to get me to sign the trust fund papers. And you don't call that a game? Nola, I'm getting awfully sick of seeing my mother so upset.
Well, gee, Steve, you know that I'd be the last one to want to upset Mona. Now, I tried to break it to her as gently as I could, didn't I?
Oh, I'm sure you did it beautifully.
Steve, come on.
But it
now.
stops. Right now. The game is over, Nola. Understood?
Well, now, I've tried to explain to Mona that this is no game. There is a principle at stake here. I cannot continue to live in a house where I make no decisions concerning my own life, and I don't think that would be good for Jason's son.
Oh.
Don't you agree?
Come on, Nola. It's not just a game you're playing. It's a child's game. I think you've won it. But I'm afraid you made a little miscalculation. And the maid does not move in here. You can tell her to take her suitcase and leave right now.
Mona, I'm afraid you've just misunderstood me.
Misunderstood what?
Well, I don't know what game Steve is talking about, and I can see you're upset, and I'm very sorry for it. But Mildred is here to help me move out.
What?
Yes, I told you, I must stand by my principles.
Nola, darling.
And I couldn't possibly manage those heavy suitcases myself. I mean, surely even you understand that, Steve?
So the maid is here to help you move out.
Yes, as soon as I'm packed.
Well, that's fine. I'm sorry. I guess we really did misunderstand you. And you know, I think you're probably right. It probably is best for you to move out. So go ahead, Nola. Don't let us keep you from your packing. I see. Your new maid is here to move you out.
Yes, as soon as we're packed.
Oh, well, that's fine, Nola. I'm sorry. I guess I probably did misunderstand you. And you know, I think you're right. It probably is the best thing to do, to move out. So, go right ahead, Nola. Don't let us keep you from packing.
Now stop it. Stop it, both of you.
Nola, don't let us prevent you. Don't let us keep you waiting.
Excuse me.
The doctors will return in just a moment.
Darling, what have you done? She's packing.
That's right. And maybe that'll put an end to Nola's manipulating you.
Darling, what Nola is doing, what she is, doesn't matter.
She's bullying you.
There's a child going to be born, Jason's child. Now, I asked you to sign those trust papers to stop all this nonsense. Now you've done all this and she's leaving.
She's bluffing.
And do you think to make her face her bluff will solve anything?
Yes.
Oh, what?
She'll have to learn that she can't be a tyrant, that we won't tolerate that.
Oh, my darling, we may have to. Within reason, that is.
Well, my dear, I think what you're going to have to do is separate yourself from Nola and from the baby.
Oh, separate myself from the baby. Do you think that I would dream of allowing Nola to bring up that child alone? And that's what she will do if she leaves.
Mother, don't you realize she's manipulating
Of
you?
course she's manipulating me. What does it matter? I don't think you realize what's at stake here.
Oh, yes, I do. Probably better than you do.
Oh, I doubt that. I doubt that very much. I flutter, don't I? I flutter from a board meeting at the hospital, and I flutter to a board meeting at the newspaper. I flutter. My life is pretty empty. You and Carolee and your darling children, you have a life of your own. You must have a life of your own. And I can only be a very small part of that life. I'm really alone. Oh, I know that Mrs. Sturgis, it's almost a ceremony with her. She dusts the rooms in this house. And I sit in these dustless rooms, and I live with memories. But there's a child going to be born. Jason's child. And you know as well as I do that Nola is no mother. She never can be a mother. She hasn't the heart. She hasn't the gut. She doesn't know how to love. But I, with all my quirks, I do know how to love. I'll hold that child in my arms. I will rock him to sleep. I will help him to be a person. A person like his father. And a person like my other dear, dear son. Oh, yes. I need that child. But that child needs me, and I won't let your pride and I won't let my pride come between that child's life and his needs. Oh.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right. I'm all right. It's just these pains, they're so inconvenient. Get my pills.
I'm sorry, I wanted to ask if I could borrow some luggage from you, Mona. Just for the move. I'll bring it back tomorrow.
That won't be necessary.
I don't have any luggage.
You won't need any. Steve?
There's no need for you to move, Nona. Whatever problems you may have, I'm sure you can resolve them. Mother wants you to stay.
I'd love to, but I do have my principles.
Oh, your principles will be dealt with.
Really?
Have to be. I'm sure you can work out any problems to your satisfaction, Noah, of course.
Well, I'm a little tired. I'll talk to you later.
Of course.
Ready?
For what?
For your massage.
I'm reading.
Mike, this is supposed to be part of home care.
Not necessary.
If it weren't necessary, then why would it be listed so many times and underlined in the hospital brochure? Wait a minute, I can quote. For patients in this condition, care of the skin is particularly important.
I'm fine, Sarah.
Why are you being so stubborn?
I'm not being stubborn.
Then take off your bathrobe and lie down. Oh, smell.
That's fine. Could have that for dinner.
It's not funny.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, it was, actually. Come on, I'm waiting.
What is this, a pet project for the day? Give Mike a massage?
It is. It is my pet. I am your resident nurse, all right? You are my patient. So, take off your bathrobe and lie down. My hands cold?
No, they're warm.
Does the lotion feel nice?
It's okay.
It's a lot of tension right in here. Am I hurting you? Mike, let me know if I'm doing it too hard, okay? What does this smell remind you of?
Beach.
Yeah.
Sun.
Me too. Wouldn't it be nice if we were lying there right now? On the sand, with the water washing over our bodies?
Where's Michael Paul?
Lie down now, lie down. He's asleep. He had so much fun playing with Greta and Leanne in the park today that he just conked out.
I didn't get a chance to see him.
I know, but he was almost asleep before I even had him in his pajamas.
I wonder it's so quiet around here.
Yeah. Quiet and peaceful and absolutely wonderful. thinking about?
Going back to work.
Oh. It's much more relaxed now. Just keep letting go. Thinking of wonderful things.
This was supposed to be a farewell letter to you.
Then I'm glad you're ripping it up.
So what do I do now, Sweeney?
You take off your coat, you unpack the suitcase, and you get back to living.
Sweeney, the whole time I was in that jail, all I ever thought about was getting out, being free. But I'm not. And I never will be.
So who is?
What do you mean?
Oh, Missy, nobody's completely free. I mean, we all have bad dreams and walls we come up against and fantasies that disappear as soon as the light's turned on.
How come some girls can meet a boy and fall in love and...
live happily ever after? No such thing.
Well, I don't think they go around with their guilts and their fears showing like some kind of a scar.
One of these days, you'll be rid of that scar. But it's going to take time.
I am so tired of hearing that, Sweeney. It'll take time. It'll take time. When you're older, then you can let someone kiss you. Then you can make love.
I don't know what to say, Missy. I know I look wise, but right now I don't feel too wise.
Oh, Sweeney.
Oh, it's been a bad couple of days for you.
Can I tell you about it?
You can tell me anything you want to.
I wasn't bad, Sweeney. At least I didn't feel that way. On the way back from Boston, we stopped at this old inn.
The Heritage Inn?
Yeah, do you know it? Still had that old pewter chandelier hanging from the ceiling with real candles burning in it, and there was a fire in the fireplace. Ah, Sweeney, you would have loved it. There was a huge old four-poster bed. Sweeney, I wanted to go to bed with Luke, and I did. And it didn't seem wrong. It was so exciting, and I wanted to make love to him. Only I couldn't.
Do you think everyone has an easy time, Missy, with the big mystery that making love is? It's not simple.
Do you think everybody turns into some kind of terrified monster like I did? Sweeney, Luke was scared of me. I was hitting him, and I wanted to hurt him.
He didn't know how to help you, honey.
Who could? I suppose I should just wear some kind of a sign that says untouchable.
Oh, look, we all have guilt about sex. Sometimes the person who seems the most free, having affairs and hopping from one bed to another, turns out to be the guiltiest of all. Look, sex is a very complicated thing, Missy.
I guess I won't have to worry about that, Sweeney, because it's obviously not for me.
Oh, you'll worry about it all right.
Sweeney, but Luke...
He loves you.
He'll never want to see me again.
Honey, he has got you inside his head. And no matter how hard he tries, he'll never be able to get you out.
He ran away.
Oh, he ran away because he thought he had failed you.
I don't want to see him or any man ever again, Sweeney.
Tonight, before you go to bed, you look in the mirror and you'll see someone very young and very pretty.
Yeah.
And they'll be love.
Once you look past all that prettiness, Sweeney, all you find inside is ugliness.
That's enough.
No, just a few more minutes. Let's not answer it.
Please, go to the door.
I have a nice surprise for you.
Yeah? What?
Ta-da!
Hey, Hank, Bettina, how are you?
Look, man, if we're interrupting anything, just say so. The vibrations are kind of strange. Honey, I think we made a mistake making a surprise visit.
No way.
We blew a week's groceries on this.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And since you're the only house in Madison with ramps, we decided to come over here and drink it.
Well, you can tell who your friends are by the number of ramps they have, right?
That's right.
Well, what's the celebration for?
Well, the hospital felt I'd be happier sleeping with Bettina's bed there.
And Bettina certainly agrees.
So I'm officially discharged. And I have an interview at the end of this week with your father.
Oh.
Hank's been hired by the hospital.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Well, that's certainly lucky for that hospital.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I know just how to handle him from watching you.
Oh, yeah? How's that?
You know, you holler at him a lot, and then the rest of the time you just kind of glare.
That's it. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, man.
Some glasses for this champagne.
Okay.
Well, how's everything?
Fine.
Things look like they just might be picking up around here, huh?
Well, it's nothing but kindness all the way. I'm beginning to enjoy my life of celibacy.
Why is that?
I might even become a Buddhist monk.
For religious purposes? Or, you just scared?
Mrs. Sturgis said that you were ready to see me.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that, well, your support means a great deal to me, Mona.
Yes?
I mean, well, asking Steve to sign the papers and all that.
The papers will be signed.
Well, that's not even important anymore, really. I'm just glad that you made the effort.
And?
And I've decided to stay. I mean, of course, providing that you allow me to hire
You may
Mildred.
hire your maid.
I'm so glad you understand. I mean, it isn't so important that I have a maid. It's just important that I have my say.
Yes, your principles.
Right.
Well, I hope we have some peace now.
I think we'll be very happy.
At least through dinner.
I'll be having dinner in bed. I'm afraid I've got some pain and the cramps have started again. I think it must be all the work I did getting ready to move.